here. This is my epoch. Wow, I thought I'd be getting better signal than this. I'm only getting one bar, but it seems to be live. So, anyways, I made it to the. I kind of wanted to do just a quick meet and greet because normally on Tuesdays I do a live stream, and so being traveling all day today and all day yesterday, I just finally got into town, and I wanted to at least do a quick meet and greet for those of you that generally join my live streams or watch it after the fact. So we had some interesting things happen. One of the things that happened was after we left Memphis, the block he cracked the block with a head gasket, and yeah, that's not, yeah, it sucked. But anyways, we were there on the side of the road for about, I don't know, 3 hours, and I took that time, and I curled up on top of Sam so that she wouldn't move. And I put her on the seat, curled up on top of her, and I went to sleep for maybe an hour, and then after we got to Jackson, which was about an hour away after we got into a different bus, we ended up stopping in Jackson, going in the gas station, getting along the way, because this is a 20-hour trip. They got to have food stops, and they really didn't have any food stops. And so Sam and I just, I basically stopped by Walgreens, picked up some dog food for her, and picked myself up something just to tide me over until I can get to where we're gonna camp tonight. I'm gonna take her over to the area where I started sleeping after I stopped sleeping at the river. Even though there's a crazy lady over there, it's grass, and I think it'll benefit Sam. So I'm gonna. That's kind of where we're going. But again, I just kind of wanted to do a meet and greet and see how you guys were doing, let you guys know where I was, so on and so forth. But I didn't actually get any sleep on the trip until we went from Nashville to Louisville, because when we made it to Louisville, basically he wanted to make sure and get there as fast as possible. It didn't take any breaks. So I finally laid down enough to sleep, and I think I got about another 3 hours sleep. So I've had maybe 4 hours sleep since yesterday when I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, what is that? 36 hours? No, yeah, about 36 hours. With minimal sleep. So that's kind of why I'm a little slow. That, and I walked through the part of town. I took some footage. It's going to be in the behind the scenes on Patreon. But essentially, the place where they had that mass shooting, I'm kind of showing the area and kind of what I was doing in the area and stuff like that. So it's something that that's, I don't know. I hope that it'll interest those of you that watch my behind the scenes stuff. But so we walked past that, went and found somebody that actually remembered who I was. So you bet. Yes, I'm back in Cincinnati, Kelly. Glad y'all see. Yeah, we're safe. Just very, very tired, and yeah, my brain isn't working. I mean, like I said, it was a 20-hour bus ride. So hey, Friar, you should shave your head. So you live up to the monk name. It's cool. Well, the thing is, I was actually looking at a haircut, and they want something like $40. But I said, does that include a beard trim? He says, yeah. So I think on payday, because I'm gonna at least be here for next payday, I think one of the things I might do is go get my head shaved, because it'll be warm enough for summer. Because up here it's still kind of cold. It's kind of like what December was in Gainesville. So. It's still going to be a little cold. She's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't know. It is what it is. But I'll shave my head then, and then once and I'll get my beard manicured, because I like how it's growing, but I need to have it kind of manicured up. So I'm going to search around to see if I can find somebody that'll do it for like $20, because I'm sure there's somebody out here with clippers, and I do that with $20. I get my beard manicured, and I get my mustache trimmed, and I get my head shaved, because it's not like they really have to put any skill into it other than maybe how much to trim back my beard to kind of allow me to keep it under control, allow it to really kind of get thick. Because Dude, I'm proud of this. I never. I used to. It used to be. I would shave and I wouldn't get stubbles until about 2 days later. So, um, shave nothing, let your hair grow and braid it up. No, why would I want to? I don't know about braiding it. I probably wouldn't. I'm not. I would probably let it go into what like the matted dreadlocks, but that's just basically because you never brush your hair, and after a while it just twines together. It's actually a sign of that somebody doesn't take care of their hair. They just kind of let it go. However, now you could call that the all natural look, but I think that you should put some care into your hair if you're going to, if you're going to wear it, because it shapes how people perceive you. And if your beard's all scraggly and your hair's all weird, so I'm to a point now where I think that I will be able to maybe not necessarily save money at first when I get to where where my final destination is, but I think it will create the foundation for me to really grow this platform, and not only grow the platform, but just kind of take the time to hone in my skills, because I now have more time for editing. Yeah, I'll be doing things around the house, around the yard. I'll be working in the garden. If he's got odd jobs to go do, I'm going to go do them. It's not like I'm going to turn down work. I mean, especially if it's just like, for a couple of days or for a gig or something like that. I don't mind that at all. And I always like to put a little bit of extra money in my pocket so that I don't have to rely on like my tip jar or anything else like that. So dreads are cool. If they're properly done, yes. My favorite biscuit is a tuck. Okay. I don't know. So anyways, but do you guys have any questions about not only our trip, what we, stuff like that? I'm going to do something more in depth for the, for the behind the scenes. I'm gonna have a little bit more. See, over there, I get to kind of like take down that wall and turn the filter off on my head and just say what I really want to be able to say without having to think, am I gonna get censored or removed or anything else like that. I mean, it's only $5 a month for that section, and I mean that's just as valuable as the hobo tutorials. So I'm eating a bowl of vanilla ice cream with honey and cinnamon. Honey and cinnamon, that I got to try that one day. So getting closer to the best weed in the world, Michigan. I don't know. Hey, Clyde, nice to see you, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. This shit here was really good, but I think it may have come from across the border. I don't know. But I'm telling you, wow, it smelled good too. It was like for just a moment, I felt like I was home. So, but anyways, I've heard the American Discovery Trail and it runs through Cincinnati. Yes. That's actually what because we could take it through West Virginia, all the way up into New York, or we can go west and end up in like Northern California, I think somewhere around San Francisco or the Bay Area. Or I could break off because it intersects with the Great Divide Trail. So it's actually, this is a perfect launching point. That way, let's just say weird things happen. If weird things happen, then I can change trajectory, and I don't have to figure all this stuff out. It's like this is one main highway up here for something like that, and I think it's something worth exploring. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to walking some of it. And I might, if I really like it, I might try and spend a lot of the summer at least doing a few day hikes, because or like a couple day hikes, do something like that. Just because if it's a really nice trail, I loved the Pinhoti because the water was so pristine. I didn't have to filter it. I mean, I did, but I didn't have to. And it was crisp. Some of it was coming right out of the ground. It was fresh. It hadn't been touched by man. It hadn't been disrupted by chemicals or anything else like that. I mean, it was, and the nature and being able to put up my hammock and all that stuff. And I think Sam would have a blast. So, I mean, if the trail is like that, because it seems like the more north you get, the better the trails get as far as beauty and terrain and stuff like that. So part of what we're doing is we're walking up a hill because I got to get her conditioned to these steeper hills, because she's been in Florida. Florida's flat. There's, I think, 326 feet is the highest not mountain range, but it's a hill essentially in Florida. When you do the Blackwater Trail, I think you go over that. But that's the beginning of the Appalachian Mountains, if I'm correct. So, what do you mean gig? Well, like, okay, so this guy he does things where he needs like a hired hand. So even when I owned my houses, one of my neighbors, they had a concrete business. Well, I bought a truck from him. I went to work for him for a few days. Laying concrete is wow. Holy shit. And then being out of shape on top of that, like they were asking me if I needed to fall out, and I just refused to give up because I'm like, I'm not gonna allow to do it. But he only worked me 2 days. He didn't give me the third day, so I ended up owing him an extra $100. But I was okay with that because that second day almost killed me because it was like 80 some odd degrees in Oregon, which is really hot to an Oregonian. It's like a 100-degree day with 110% humidity in Florida, like the middle of August. Okay, that's what it feels like to the average Oregonian with something like that. Okay, do you ride the Greyhounds often or hop trains? With Sam, until I get her to where I feel comfortable enough that I can trust certain habits that she has, because she likes to growl, and that will give us away. That's why you keep hearing me say no snitching. Because she will get us in trouble. Not only that, she kind of has to get over some of this puppy thing where, she's got to like, be right on top of you because she's like having that moment of weakness of like, hold me. And, sometimes on a train, you can't do that. Not in the situation we were. I needed her to get in the hole and stay in the hole, and she ends up wiggling her way out. That's why I have her on my knee, because she's just like, I want to come out. I need to be held because, whatever. And part of that is just she loves trains. But, because we've taken Amtrak and we've also taken Sunrail, and that's why she got on the freight train so easily. That was the easy part. She's getting her in there. She wasn't scared. She'll go right on up to it. She's not scared of it because being around Sunrail and Amtrak. So it's the ride along, and there was a couple of times where it was screeching so bad, like it was hurting my ears. So I can only imagine what it was doing to her. So, but anyways, if I do hop a train, it will be out of Cincinnati, just because this is where I started. One, and two, I know kind of where I'll end up if I'm gonna go, and if I need to go in that direction. Like, if I don't hop out of Cincinnati, which I most likely won't, I probably won't hop another train unless something happens to Sam, or when Sam gets a lot more disciplined, because I want to have a disciplined dog when I'm out there on the rails. And so if that means I got to take some time off, but it'll be something that I do as a hobby. It's not going to be something that I do full time. If I'm taking this place in West Virginia as far as a place to stay, it gives me an opportunity to go out there and do it, but like go out for a week and come back, type thing, versus going and living the full-on lifestyle. Because my next step, and I still need, it's kind of like practice. You need to kind of keep doing it. All your different modes of travel, doesn't matter. Like, that's why I say I'm going to go out on day hikes. I will go out and at least ride the rails once in a while, and I may end up leaving Sam back at the place without me, if I really get the itch to go do it for like a week or so. But before I get her, where I feel she's comfortable on the rails with me. But you got to keep practicing, because things change, your body changes. Your body, the older you get, the quicker your body gets out of shape. So like, not doing these hills, I mean, now I got to get myself conditioned to do the hills as well. So mid to end summer, NorCal, loads of trimming jobs, get that bag. You know what? I've talked to kids, and they've told me it's actually pretty hard to get a job, especially if you're new. You have to, it's going to be really, really hard. It's oversaturated. All the kids want to go do that. And so a lot of kids do show up doing that. And so, yeah, it's not something that you want to, that is like open like you would think it would be, with as many trimming jobs, because everybody wants to go trim weed, because you get to keep part of the product as your pay plus pay. So, and that's the awesome part of it. So, did you do the entire Appalachian Trail? No, I actually didn't make it to the Appalachian Trail. I got sick. Ended up getting out of the hospital, dropped in Chattanooga, and then took a Greyhound up here to Cincinnati. I never got a chance to get to that. But if we were going to do that, we would have gotten off in Birmingham and taken the Pinhoti up to the Bet McCon, then the AT. We would have actually been starting at the right time if I was making that choice. But we're doing the North Trail this year, so if we're gonna do a small section of it. It's probably gonna be maybe a 300-mile hike, maybe 5 tops. I don't know exactly, but I know it's gonna be a few hundred miles that we're gonna be hiking. So it's probably gonna take us a good 2-3 weeks to make it. So and I got to be there by the end of June. Because that's when I said I would be there, and I actually want to be there like by the end of May or first week of June by the latest. So, do you get paid once in? If you get paid in or all weed, not to mention you don't have boobs. Yeah, no, that's why I say I'm too ugly to prostitute. And that perfectly fits me. But so the dispensaries here, they do not, they don't, they're not set up. They're going to have them approved in August, and then in September, the first wave of approvals will get to. We'll get to you have a license for a dispensary, but they're making it to where there's 2 medical ones, and those are probably going to be the first ones because they're and those guys will get so busy they'll probably have to open up a couple more locations. So like if you've got a medical dispensary right about now, you're going to make a shit ton of money. Because in San Francisco, in 5 years you become a multimillionaire. And this was back in the early 2000s. So, I mean, just imagine how quick it is now with how much gets sold. And everybody, it's better on your body than alcohol is. And it's less, you have less of an issue with addiction. That's probably the 2 biggest benefits with it, is that because historically, because our water was bad, we had to drink beer, and so we created a society of alcoholics. Well, it's going to take a couple of generations to get that out of our genetics, so that we can balance out and we don't have such a high rate of addiction to like things like alcohol. But you got to start somewhere, and cannabis is probably the least the least harmful out of everything that you could do. So if you're gonna do something, at least do something that's gonna be kind to your body, because you're gonna get older and you're not gonna like what happens to you if you don't. I've seen so many of these guys that are old. They've been eaten up by the streets because of doing the white dope, and just it destroys your body. It destroys like the old man in Pensacola, his legs were seizing up, because not only was he dehydrating himself, but he had like $100 a day habit. So, but anyways, guys, I've been slaving away, working for 2 years now, renting a room in my brother's house. Really want to get traveling again and feeling free. You know what? I will tell you that nostalgia, it's fun at first, okay? It's fun at first. You remember the good old times, especially if you go back to places where people remember you. So it's easier for you to get back in. So like coming up here to Cincinnati, people are going to recognize me because I made a connection here with some of the home bums that were here for years. So people know who I am when I walk into town, so I don't have to go and reestablish myself. It's things like that, and then that'll bring back the good old days because you'll have the ease of access to everything you had instead of having to prove that you're not 5'0" or something. So it sucks going into a new city because unless you can immediately garner trust, and like I'm a square out here, compared to the average person. Plus I'm not wore down. I'm not eaten up by the streets like everybody else has been. So it's kind of hard to look at me and go, yeah, that's a bum, because I guess I took care of myself and I made the right decisions. I mean, I smoked my cannabis, and now that it's becoming legal, I don't even have to worry about hiding it anymore. That's the best part of it, is like some people like to have a beer when they get home. I like to smoke a bowl. I'll give up all alcohol for just 100% weed, and I'll never touch alcohol ever again. I that's just the way that I feel about it. But some people will be like, I would rather have alcohol than cannabis. So each person has their preference, but you need to be able to at least give people an option of A or B, not just, oh yeah, go ahead and drink, and then run the risk of becoming an alcoholic. So anyways, get a motorized bicycle. Nah. Okay. My friends keep me hooked up with cannabis because they know it helps with my PTSD. That's good. So that's always really good to have people that take care of you like that. Especially when they know that you really need it or that it's just your thing. So nice to see you, All American Prepper. I'm not going to be on here, but maybe another 10 minutes. So this is just going to be, like I said, I just wanted to be able to let you guys know I made it in Cincinnati, at least do some form of a live stream, give you an update, kind of have a chit chat with you guys, because I like having this open conversation. Plus tonight I got to get some sleep. By the time Saturday comes around for the live stream, I will probably be in tip-top shape, and I'll be doing pretty good. So, but I'm happy that I made it to Cincinnati. It's like, it was kind of a vortex for me anyways. I got upset because I was trying to make a difference, but I'm not here to make a difference anymore. I'm just here to enjoy the city, enjoy the vibes, and enjoy all the cool stuff. And, I'm going to be spending at least a month here because I got to wait till next payday. Next payday is when I need to get a couple of pieces of final gear. Oh, and for those of you that are going to want to send me a care package, because I know, Jeremy, you asked, I will put a short up for a care package, and I'll leave it up for probably about maybe a week or so. And if anybody wants to send me a care package, they can do that, and then I'll actually remove it because I don't really like having my personal information out there. I give it when I have to deal with government agencies, but I prefer to just live by Friar Tuck, and just have that be who I am. Because that's more of an embodiment of my personality, and it's just as far as I think. So it is what it is. Yeah, I am definitely tired though. I am ready to get some sleep. Sam slept for 2 days. She's gonna keep me up all night. Watch. So I'm having a really bad day, and my cancer just beat me. I'm going. Well, Hannah, I'm sorry that's happening. Have you, Dean Clifford, it was something that he did was his dad, he had cancer, and he gave some Rick Simpson oil, and this is back in like the 90s when Rick Simpson oil was really Rick Simpson oil, and he put a drop on a peanut for his dad, told him just take that for a while just to see what would happen. Yeah, he ended up beating the cancer, and I think that cancer partly not only has to do with our food and our water and all the crap that we put in it, but it also has to do with emotions. And some of it is emotional, but some of it is chemically induced, I guess you could say. So I'm sorry that you're going through that. I met a lady once that had stage 3 breast cancer, and it was inoperable. So and I watched her kind of spiral, and I know it can be hard, but just understand that this is your time to say your goodbyes, connect with your loved ones. That way when you go, that they can let you go, and it makes the mourning process much easier, because I learned that from my grandparents. They gave away all their stuff before they died, because they wanted to see people enjoy it and know that they left a lasting mark, and all that other stuff, and because they wanted their children to have closure. And I think they did, but they didn't. But I think that it's a good idea. It's at least worth a try. Just to be able to tell the ones that you care about, remind them that you do care about them, and that things will always be good for them. Give them a talk of hope. You can go out sobbing, or you can go out with a smile. I'd prefer to go out with a smile. So try to get pure Delta 8 high doses of No, you should try. No, Delta 9. Delta 9 is what you want, not Delta 8. Delta 9 is that's what just got legalized here in Cincinnati, in Ohio, is Delta 9, not Delta 8. Delta 8 has such a low THC count. It's almost like smoking swag. Now, for somebody like me, I mean, it's I don't know. I've been smoking for so long that I know what I'm supposed to get. I mean, I'm not going to always get the same thing, but I know what I'm supposed to get. And smoking the Delta 8, it just, I don't know. I would have rather smoked spice, honestly. I did not like it at all. Um, uh, yeah, even the Delta 9, Delta 8 crap that they were trying to pawn off in what was it, Shreveport. Yeah, that was swag. That was crap. That's why I stopped buying it, because I knew as soon as I made it up here to Cincinnati that I'd be, why waste my money and take a risk when I know where I can go get it and not have to worry about it, and it's a place I like to be, and it's a great staging point for me. So hey, one of the things I want to do is, before I leave, is I want to be able to, take at least an eighth to a quarter with me. That way I kind of have it on the road with me, just to kind of, ease into the hiking and enjoy myself, because I know when I did that up on the Florida Trail this year, I had it was much more fun, and I was much more relaxed. So, but okay, Tuck and Sam are in the house. Okay, well, I mean, outside. Okay, I've switched to Delta 8 3 years ago in Ohio. Way better if you get it. Been smoking. Okay, well, I mean, we all have our own thoughts on it. Just, for me, it doesn't work, because I need a brick wall. I need something to slow down my reaction time enough to where I don't do something I'm gonna regret because of my whatever issue. And I may also end up taking some time, and I got to go back to that same doctor now that the weather's better. And if that means that I miss out on the opportunity in West Virginia, or it gets delayed, I think it's important that I take the time to at least figure out how to manage what's going on with me, and actually go in for an actual test. And I know it may take a couple of months, and hey, I may walk the trail and then have to walk back, and then walk between both for a while, just to get it. But I think Ohio is, because these doctors here, they actually are going, they there's something better about them than a lot of the other places that I've been to. I'll just put it to you that way. They're just, it's a little bit better. So yeah, the THCA, yeah, that's what Delta 9, yeah, but Delta 9 has less than, Delta 8 has less than 0.03%. What I'm smoking is like, 15 to 24%. There's a huge difference between that. And and when you know the difference, it's like drinking near beer. I think that's an easier way for people to understand. It's like drinking near beer. Yes, but you know what? They're only good for the state in which you're in. So I would have to be a local home bum here in order to be able to even consider that a viable option. Really. It's not a viable option, because I move around too much. Maybe in West Virginia, but for at least the first 6 months, in my opinion, things will always be up in the air, just because it's the way, like I told somebody who made a comment, I've got to be cautious, because I don't want to do something that's going to end me up in a padded room. So I got to be careful. But anyways, guys, it is getting that time. I will do a live stream again on Saturday, and we will we'll have a more in-depth conversation when my brain actually works. So yes, I am a weed head. You can get for 60 now. Really? Yeah, but the thing is it's only good for Ohio. So if I go to West Virginia, I just wasted $60. See what I'm saying? Getting a med card when it's recreational, unless I'm getting it just to be able to survive the next 6 months, until they actually open up the first dispensary. But I got people here that I know that got good quality stuff. And here's the one thing about when they legalize it, the stuff out on the streets has to get better. Okay? Now, it becomes a higher risk, but most people realize they can go to a dispensary. So why go out there on the street corner and get a street tax? Well, if they've got some really, really, really good stuff, well, that isn't in the dispensaries, but it's just like, wow, then they will be able to be competitive enough to be able to keep some form of an operation. But this basically, once they start opening the dispensaries within 6 months, it'll probably end about 80% of the weed sales on the street. I'm willing to place a wager on that, just because I saw what happened in Oregon. You could get it on the streets, but it's like, why not just you didn't even go looking for it on the streets because you knew you could go to a store. You went in with your ID, you're good. Why go look for a guy that is most likely, and I think this is probably what's causing the problem with white dopers and why white dope is taking over, is because now those guys got to start selling that instead of weed. So it kind of has, that may be the negative consequence of it. So anyways, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, don't forget to share, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I will see you guys Saturday. It'll probably be like early to mid afternoon, and we'll see about that. I'm gonna start setting a regular time now that like spring is coming and it's actually staying lighter longer. But on Saturdays, I want to go down. So remember the top 10 places I told you guys to eat? One of them is the Saturday feed down at Washington Park. And that's why I'm saying they feed at like 6 o'clock. So I'm not doing a live stream at 6 o'clock. And it's dark by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, I mean, I wanna eat and get to camp and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to do it early, not late. Because and I'll do a video of it just to show you guys like how it is. It's simple, but it tastes good and it sticks to your bones. That's probably the most important part. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next live stream. Thanks for watching.